Morning everybody, it's time to start our rod building series. Today I'm going to show you the basic components of the rod, the basic tools that you're going to need. I'm going to show you everything that we get in the package. We're going to start out, we have the rod that I'm going to build is going to be a 6-foot 6-inch. This is a H&H for Hook and Hackle XI series. 6-foot 6-inch 2-weight 4-piece. So here's the rod. It is a really nice forest green color, and of course we have the 4 pieces. Along with that, in your kits you're going to want to see, of course, a grip and a reel seat. And this particular one, since it is a 6.5-foot rod, this is a cork combination grip and reel seat together. It just has a slip ring. I have a nice little 2-weight reel to go on this. So you're going to want to see that. You're also going to want to see in here, in this small bag here, I have a tip top. I have a winding check which goes on the rod against the top of your grip. And next to that would be your hook keeper. And then of course you need eyes. For this particular one there's going to be 7 eyes on there, and then the tip top. I have a large stripping guide and then progressively smaller or a couple different sizes of snake eyes. It also comes in a nice cloth bag. Very nice. And lastly, in your kit, you want to get a kit that has the glues included. Don't necessarily need a book. They sell it with a rod with the components without the glues. They sell it with the glues. They also sell it with glues and a book. You don't necessarily need the book because you got me. So here you're going to get epoxy. This is a 2-part epoxy in its own little package. They sell these separately also. And here is the rod finish. This is Pacific Bay, Pac Bay rod finish. Very easy to use. And you'll also get, I've already used one of these, but there's a little brush and a stirring stick. But you don't even need these if you, just toothpicks or some kind of little popsicle stick or something like that would work. And here are your basic tools that you would need. A nice Sharpie marker, a nice sharp pair of scissors, but I prefer to use a razor blade. And along with that, you need masking tape. I use the blue masking tape. It's not quite as sticky, so you don't have to worry about having too much glue residue left on your rod when you peel the tape off. And along with that, for reaming out the handle and reel seat, most reel seats you don't have to ream out because there's a hole large enough for them. But the grips, you're definitely going to have to ream out. So what you want is a rat tail file, or they also sell the kits with a reamer in them. And if you plan on making more than one rod, putting up the money for the reamer is a great idea. I made probably 25 rods at least already, maybe even more, and I didn't have a reamer. But when I got this reamer just last month, I am so sorry I didn't have this from the beginning. What I used to use was a skinny little chainsaw file, and that took forever. So that's the basic components. Now we're going to get into finding the spine, marking the spine, and marking the guide placements. Okay, now we're going to find the spine. The first thing that I did was I cut the masking tape. I cut about 8 inches or so and cut it into 3 strips. And those strips I put on the guide or on the rod. This one is already starting to peel off a little bit. But these marks I'm going to mark the spine with. And then I'm going to take the smaller pieces, I'm going to mark where the eyes go. And just put a mat with the marker. First I'm going to take the smallest one, make sure that that's on there. And this tape, to mark the spines, you simply put it on the female side, on the bottom, and then on the top, of course you can't put it right to the top because the tip top is going to go there. Put it about 3 or 4 inches down, and you can put this anywhere from 1 to 2 inches down. So what I'm going to do is, you just take this and you bend it, and I can feel it turning in my hand, and the spine is going to ride up. But, okay, now we're going to take the rod, and this is the way I learned it. You put the rod down, you hold the rod in your open hand, and you bend it, and you twist it. You spin it. And by doing this, of course you want it on a hard surface. By doing this, you're going to bring, the spine is going to come to the bottom. I'm going to spin it, and there it is. It'll roll, and then it goes over the hump, and that hump is where the spine is. So I know the spine is on the bottom right there. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to take my marker, and I'm going to mark opposite of the spine. And this is actually where my eyes are going to go. And then, of course, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to mark up there. And I'll take the next one and do the same thing. Hold it, just push it in the middle, just enough. Look at that, it's right there already. So now, if you can zoom in on that, now if you watch close, you're going to see that spine roll. I have it bent, I'm going to roll it, and there it is, right there. You see that? How that, all of a sudden it flips, there it goes. I go again, and there it is, right there. So I'm going to mark, there is the top. The spine is opposite this. Simply put a mark on there. And then I can take it and I can mark the other side. And I'm going to do that with the other 2 pieces. So I'm going to take the 3rd piece and I'm going to do the same. Really easy. But the thicker they get, the little harder it is for them to bend, because you know the power in the rod, or the rods are stiffer at the bottom. So I'm going to, oh, and there it is. And on the last one, I put the tape here and here, because the reel seat is going to cover here, and I'm going to put the marks up here. So I'm going to go ahead and bend that and roll it. That butt section is pretty hard to bend, but here we have it. So I'm going to mark there, and I'm going to mark up here. There probably won't be any eyes on this section. In fact, I know there won't be any eyes on this section. Now I'm going to take the rod and I'm going to assemble. I'm going to line up my marks. Going to put them together. And the last one. And now I have that. I'm going to put this on the table. Now for the guides, this is pretty simple. You go to hookhack.com and find the guide spacing chart, and simply I write them down. For a 6.5 foot rod, we want 4 inches from the tip top. Next one would be 9 inches, then 15, then 21, 28, 35.5, and 45. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to stretch my tape out, and I only need it to 45 inches, which is good. So our first one is going to be 4 inches. We're going to take a piece of tape, and this piece of tape is actually a little long, and I'm going to put that at the 4-inch mark. To the tip, and 4 inches. And we're going to just simply roll that through, and that is where the center of our first eye is going to be. Of course, the tip top is going to be on there. Now the next one is going to be 9 inches, and we move down to the 9, and we're going to place that on. The next one is going to be at 15 inches. Make sure that we're at the tip and place that on the 15-inch mark. The next one is going to be at 21 inches. And that is going to be the center. Next one will be at 28 inches. You want pretty skinny tape for the actual guide placements, because the guide, you only have a limited amount of space between the feet. The next one is 35.5. Take this and 35.5. Roll that on, and the last one is going to be at 45 inches, which is going to be right down here. And the last one is going to go at the 45-inch mark. Simply take that and just roll it on. I'm going to just double check everything. Put that on there. 4, 9, 15, 21, 28, 35.5, and 45. So now I have the proper distances. Now I'm going to take my marker once again, and I'm going to mark where the spine is, or the opposite of the spine, actually. There. There. And there's the mark. Yeah, that one's going to go there. And that one's going to go there. And there. Now I have them all marked, so now I can take these apart. And there is the butt section. So now we have the components. Showed you all of the components, the rod length, all of the components, how to find the spine, how to mark the spine, how to mark the guide placing. So tune in again tomorrow, and we're going to put the reel seat and grip on, and then we'll get into wrapping the threads. Thank you very much for watching my videos.